taxation. I mean, the government seems to think that there's some kind of difference between the license fee and a tax, but I don't know what that would be. You pay it like you pay a tax in any case, so why not just put it in part of the general taxation budget and pay for it in that way?
Just to clarify, obviously, for the viewers at home, when it's talking about the BBC licence fee, that's the same as the TV licence, the regular TV licence that we pay every year.
And you're right. I should have made clear. It's not just whether you watch the BBC. If you have a television and you're watching anything, you need a TV licence.
But this is the thing, though. So obviously, the TV licence, well, it's an issue because of the BBC, right? But you obviously need to pay for it, whether you have, like, if you have a TV.
If you never watch the BBC, yeah.
But this is the thing. See, so you're actually paying for something, and you're not even ever watching it. What if you, like most people, I don't know who. What, you know, most people are you know, like as you mentioned, streaming platforms and things like that, and or even social media they watch on their TV. So actually, it's like you're being forced to pay for something, and you're not even using the service.
I'd be careful with that though, because that isn't really what's happening. You know, 80% of people in this country still get the news from the BBC. So it's got a very, very high footprint. And when we say people are getting stuff from social media, actually what a lot of people are doing is watching the BBC on social media or mainstream broadcasters. So it's not like they're watching some sort of niche podcast and getting their news from that. Actually, some of the newspapers, for instance, The Guardian and the Daily Mail, have an absolutely huge online footprint. So social media and the old mainstream media aren't really quite as much two separate things as people sometimes imagine.
Yeah, it just feels as time's going on that we're coming away from, you know, mainstream telly. But you're right; it's just switching it from watching it on a you know, big box in the room to just in your hand.
But I suppose also it kind of works like similar to the NHS. I mean, if you're using the service or you're not using the service, you still need to contribute, obviously, to the NHS.
It's not the same thing.
Well, you still have to pay for the TV licence. There's no way that
there's just so many licences. There's so many things you have to pay for, right? But it's not the same thing as NHS. That's a totally different thing. You know,
but what people do is, you know, if you hear a news story and you're not sure whether it's true or not, you see it on social media, what do? You go and look at a mainstream news site
to see if they're airing this or streaming it. Yeah.
So what it acts as is a kind of factual flaw in the news in the news world. That, you know, if you see a ludicrous claim by Donald Trump or any other politician, or you see a story that you see circulating, you think, is that true? Where do you go and check it? You go and check it with an institution which, whatever its faults, still has an editorial policy, a fact-checking policy. It may be politically biased, you may have a critique of it, but there's a certain flaw there.
Yeah, definitely. You do get it checked. I mean, mine isn't necessarily BBC, but I would also go to Channel 4 or ITV to check it. So therefore, it goes back to the whole TV licence thing again. Which is another thing you have to pay for.
Well, I mean, that is the connection, really, because to have that level of journalism and editorial control, you need serious money. And serious money can only come from two places, either from people who've already got it, i.e. corporations, or from a lot of people who've only got a little bit of it, which is taxation.
Yes, well, there's just another thing that you have to make sure that you've got covered in the house, the TV licence. But anyhow, we are going to go over to our next story, which is UK teens report sleep well-being.
No, we've done that.
We've done it, actually.
We have done this already.
No, that's the end of the news, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk about so many different headlines, but thank you so much, John, for today, for the headlines.
Yes.
But now what we have coming up is something very special. We have a special event here that we've filmed for Islam Channel. So let's take a look at the video.
I believe if we focus on non-Muslim countries, which means Muslim business communities in non-Muslim countries, those communities are doing great business-wise. I mean, I noticed personally, and I've seen that in many official reports, the impact of Muslim business communities. It is in many times, including UK, larger than their percentage as a population. So this means they are going beyond their percentage in population through businesses. And this is not the whole story, because when we consider business, we consider doing business, and we consider the impact of that business through donation and charity. So when we look at, again, because we are here in London, at the Muslim business communities, they are doing great in business, and they are doing great even on charitable activities, including lots of engagement in the society, focusing on the needs on the whole society, not just the Muslim business communities or the Muslim communities.
Bosnia and Herzegovina is a natural European halal hub. It's a center of excellence for the global halal industry, and it's a natural for Bosnia and Herzegovina to be represented at the first London Halal Forum. We have been engaging with the ICCD and ICHS and with Sheikh Yusuf Halavi for several years now, and we are trying to collaborate on an initiative to establish our country as a place to invest, to enter Europe in the halal industry, and to open it up to the European market.
We are very excited to be here because it's the first London Halal Forum. It's the first of its kind in the UK and in Europe, and we think this is an excellent opportunity to exhibit, but also to meet partners, existing partners, new partners. There's a conference in the background where industry experts talk, from halal modest fashion to Sharia compliant financing to halal tourism. So everyone is here, and it's a great opportunity to network, to learn from each other, to connect and to find new contacts.
Our objective is to support businesses all over the world, especially halal investment, through supporting networking, organize B2B meetings, facilitate matching of businesses. In addition, we are delivering other services like free consultation, plus market research, feasibility studies, all of these things. Plus we are facilitating what we can say the paperwork for funding or with financial entities.
We are seeing a lot of friendly faces, a lot of useful panels, some workshops that really benefit the halal industry in general. And I think Bosnia and Herzegovina can be sort of a role model for other countries, because we are a European secular country where halal is not imposed by law or by anything. How other countries can really benefit from halal, at least from the business side. So we are happy to be part of the London Halal Forum, and we will probably be here next year and at all other ICCD and ICH events in the future.
When it comes to trade, the production of halal products happening everywhere, including UK. So governments, not just Muslim majority countries who are big consumers, but even producers such as from Brazil, which is a major exporter, one of the, in fact, largest exporter of halal products, United States, United Kingdom, they are part of this global supply chain of halal trade. Now this event today is being sponsored by or organized by the Islamic Chamber of Commerce, sponsored by a Saudi Arabia-based investment company called Halal DevCo, as well as some of the industry partners from Saudi Arabia, which demonstrate some of the challenges and opportunities. From Saudi Arabia side, we have today representing the Muslim world, Muslim majority countries who are net importers of halal products, meaning even as Muslims, they don't really supply their own halal product, they're dependent. It also creates an opportunity which makes a linkage with the rest of the world. Countries like UK, US, Brazil, etc. Are able to build bridges through halal trade. So one of the themes that's fascinating about this event is halal and tayyib for humanity. Because halal ultimately is to be good, healthy, good to the environment, and tayyib is wholesome and healthy. These are values that are universal. So in London, connecting with the themes of sustainability and environment, this event brings the wider impact of halal, which is not just for Muslims. This event, the London Halal Forum, is part of a global trend on the halal economy, which today, if you think about the core Muslim population of over 2 billion people that require halal products, specifically food, collectively that adds today to almost $2.4 trillion of how much food Muslims consume, which is all subject to halal. Obviously, that's significant.
I think it's interesting to see how Saudi is coming here to the UK to see what the market is like, what connections are around, and how, I suppose, UK businesses can have access to a more global platform. I mean, there's so many different types of businesses here that I didn't even know existed, and I feel like if you want to be in an Islamic business, it's a great place to network and make connections.
The good thing is that there's a lot of people who have come in from different parts of the world, and it's a really good place for us to learn from their experience, and also to share with them the new technology which we have. So it's a really great space that we can then take this technology to a lot of other countries where halal, especially where we have minorities. So wherever we are a minority, people need good halal food to be delivered to them. And here our product would be able to deliver not only food, but all eco-lifestyle of a halal person.
The idea is we're inspired by Sifr as an invention that actually Muslims, or you can say the East, came up with in order to develop everything that we have now. We depended on Sifr. We depended on the invention of zero to give us algorithms, and now what we have today in modern tech as well. So the idea is 3 pillars. It's to engage, expand, and elevate. Make sure I got that right. So we're engaging through conferences like this, where we're bringing the latest tech. We're helping people network effectively using AI, and we have AI hubs. We've got one of our brothers, Amin, who's walking past right now. He's an AI expert who will be giving free consultations to companies. And then we have, what do you call it? Expand, the idea of education, cutting edge. Mashallah, you're an example of somebody who's always studying, somebody who is, mashallah, tabarakallah, always, as we say, from the cradle to the grave, always learning, right? That's exactly what we want to do with this platform, deliver the bleeding edge of learning from AI to leadership and beyond. And the last thing is elevate, that is entrepreneurship support. And this is where for the last 10 years, I've been working in this space, helping early stage startup get the support they need from Mauritania to London and beyond, inshallah ta'ala.
Fortunately, there's a lot of people. How did you ensure that whatever you're writing is true to the core of, a person's experience?
In today's world with so much happening, a lot of people love art, and that's it's an escapism, but it also speaks to deep-rooted need for people to do art, to make art. All the books that I read with Muslim characters, we were always shoved inside a very small, tight box with no room to breathe.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
We came to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well. Hold it.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
How did you ensure that whatever you're writing is true to the core of, a person's experience?
In today's world with so much happening, a lot of people love art, and it's an escapism, but it also speaks to deep-rooted need for people to do art, to make art. All the books that I read with Muslim characters, we were always shoved inside a very small, tight box with no room to breathe.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass.
Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline. Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headline.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Your opportunity to challenge the status quo. You call in and set the narrative. Every Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Islam Channel. Islam Channel. Join us to discuss hot topics dominating the headlines.
There's a lot of people in the UK, for example, who, especially women, unfortunately, who come here as wives. They don't have very much education, and what they know is what they've been told. And I think that is one issue, but not the only issue. And even for people like me, born Muslim, born in the UK, and if when I was younger you said halal, I would say chicken. That's how it was. I didn't know about halal finance, halal products, halal services, halal holidays. I'm learning all of this now, and I want to teach other people. So I did actually a whole episode when I presented on World Service about halal holidays, because it's so important to differentiate what is a halal holiday. And at the same time, I was educating myself, and I think the lack of education, but not just education, I think it's how you communicate, because a lot of words are quite complicated. People don't understand, and people with the knowledge. And I'm not saying they do this on purpose, but they will use their knowledge and they'll use their abbreviations, and they think that's okay because everyone should understand, but they don't. And let me give you a really good example. Like I scrolled across TikTok yesterday, and I found something where two doctors, mother and son, were explaining something very common but very complicated, premenopausal symptoms, and they used kitchen like ingredients. So they picked up eggs and they picked up a utensil, and I completely understood what they were saying at the end of it. And I think, okay, we don't need to go to that extent, but we really, really need to tone down our language and make it as simple as possible, not just for people who are not Muslim, but also Muslims. There's a lot of Muslims who do not understand the financial Islamic sector.
We have a lot of organization here from all over the world. We can support each other in supporting halal economy, even through a lot of services between us, even governmental authorities or organizations and businesses. Okay, we can collaborate with each other to spread halal culture all over the world. I think it's very, very, very opportunity to spread the culture of halal all over the world, especially in this event. Also, our company do a lot of events like London Halal. We make a Makkah Halal Forum in Middle East. It's a huge event also, spreading halal culture between companies and any organization in Middle East. I know it's very important to know a lot of what is halal.
Welcome back. Well, that was very interesting exhibition there. We just had a glimpse of, and we're very fortunate actually that we live in a time now that we have actually everything at our hands, and it's halal.
Yeah, mashallah. I mean, so many different companies, like as they were saying, obviously there were so many different companies and businesses that even people who are obviously in the same industry, they don't even know about each other. So it's a really amazing opportunity, not only for obviously businesses, but for consumers also, attending these types of events. Because growing up, I didn't, used to go to, and we didn't even hear of any like Muslim events. Obviously, apart from obviously going to your local masjid, but now, like, mashallah, like in the community, like there's so many events, there's so many different organizations, different groups that you could be a part of, communities that you can be a part of. And
but we've grown actually, and we've learned and we've integrated, and so obviously there's that growth there. But it's not just about halal food, it's all these, halal finance, banking, and there's halal traveling, there's all sorts of things now that apps and stuff. So and then when not just here, this was an exhibition here in London, but as we were talking about earlier, that when you go abroad, there are apps to tell you where your nearest place you can go to, masjid, nearest halal restaurant is, and so we're quite fortunate that in that sense we have come moved a lot forward, and we have access to these things. There's a lot of Muslims that have done some great things in the last 15 to 20 years. You've seen some great progress of a lot of great things, great initiatives, great businesses, and their involvement in change making.
Yeah, absolutely. No, because actually what you're saying is, it is actually relatively quite a short amount of time, and then so much actually has developed, obviously, like, especially in Europe, I'd say. Obviously, we live in England and, like, all these countries. I just remember it was, like, to find halal food, I think we used to drive, like, at least 45 minutes, 1 hour, just to get halal meat. Yeah. Now, like, alhamdulillah, like, I think like nearly every place you go, you can find at least somewhere that has like one halal
But then maybe
place.
we're just saying that maybe we're spoiled because we're in London. And in London, we've got a lot of that here. But if we came out of London a little bit, maybe, I don't know, down in Wales or somewhere, can you get halal meat?
Honestly, I think you can get halal meat everywhere. I went to Dominican Republic. I was shocked. There was even halal there. So I was very spoilt for choice there.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, actually, outside London, is there anyone that has to order in their meat, or, they have to, I don't know, basically pre-plan, and they're not able to just take a stroll to the local shop? It'd be good to know that, wouldn't it?
It would be,
to see if somebody could email us. Or,
how far do you drive to go and get halal food?
Yeah, so it would be great. We are streaming live on YouTube, so it'd be good to get some comments in as well, and just see actually, because we are very spoiled. We're very fortunate here in London to have everything accessible at our doorstep, and even with events, we're like back to back. You can never say living here that I don't have anything to do. There's nothing.
And you know what it is also? I feel like there's a lot of like obviously Muslim-inspired events, and family-friendly events, because a lot of places obviously with the culture, there's a lot of places that we can't go to obviously as Muslims, but I feel like actually more and more families and individuals are actually seeking like these Muslim events and conferences and things like that. Obviously, I mean,
I don't even think about the things we can't do, because there is so much that we can do. There are so many things that the Muslim organisations or Muslim charities are organising. We're so honestly spoiled for choice, and we're so fortunate to have a variety of things. And I do wonder that outside, I mean, I reckon maybe in major cities like Manchester, maybe Bradford, Birmingham, maybe Glasgow, they have something similar. But other than that, I'm not so sure, Who knows? But anyhow, we are going to be taking a quick look at another event that is taking place. But before we do anything else, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. So go grab yourself a fresh cuppa, and we'll see you very soon.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Start your day right with the UK's first Muslim morning show, Salaam Britain,
where we dive into the trending stories that matter to you.
Share recipes from around the globe that will ignite your senses.
Celebrate guests that are making waves.
And showcase the diversity that makes our ummah beautiful.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
How did you ensure that whatever you're writing is true to the core of, a person's experience?
In today's world with so much happening, a lot of people love art, and that's it's an escapism, but it also speaks to deep-rooted need for people to do art, to make art. All the books that I read with Muslim characters, we were always shoved inside a very small, tight box with no room to breathe.
events and Muslim gatherings and lots of halal options that we have here in the UK, and how fortunate we are, not just in the UK, even on our travels we've experienced some great things. And so we were just talking about how far we've come, alhamdulillah, into advancing ourselves as Muslims. But anyhow, it is a very special time where we have somebody in the studio with us. So joining us today is a lady called Iman, who is here to talk and tell us more about this very important event that is going to be taking place very, very soon. So let's find out. She is Iman from the Muslim Council of Britain, a visionary officer. And so let's find out more and welcome her. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you so much for being here today on Salaam Britain. We're so excited to learn more about what MCB is putting out there for us, and obviously anything that's going to advance us, enrich us, in mental health and all of this. So tell us a little bit more about what's happening.
Yes, definitely. So the Muslim Council of Britain has been around for quite some time, and this year they've launched a visionary leadership program with young people. So there's a group of about 20 of us, and the Muslim Council really wanted to integrate young people in public affairs and digital media and representation into their work stream, so that in the future we can create kind of a self-sustaining model, and that we don't need to rely on the elder generations, and we can be a part of that change that Muslims need in Britain.
Wonderful. And how comes this came about? I mean, tell us a little bit about your role before we go more into this event.
All credit is to Dr. Wajid, who is the current Secretary General of the Muslim Council of Britain. Dr. Wajid is very passionate about getting the youth involved and the next generation. So this was from him, and they've been very involved in the process. We've had a leadership retreat a couple of months ago. We've had many conferences. We've got podcasting. We've got many different opportunities to get involved with the Muslim Council as young representatives. And we're trying to build like a regional model. So not just the Muslim Council of Britain, Ireland, Wales and Scotland, but let's say Midlands, South, Birmingham, all parts of the UK, and basically integrating us as young people to be representatives of MCB in these areas.
Yeah, that's amazing. Obviously, there's so many different opportunities now. And you have an event obviously coming up this Saturday. Can you just tell us more about the event and the Muslim Summit Health Summit?
Of course. Yeah, so the Muslim Mental Health Summit is taking place on Saturday. It's going to be at the University of East London in Docklands. And this event is bringing together organisations, policymakers, practitioners, people with lived experience to come together and not just talk about mental health, but finally talk about practical solutions that we can take to address the ongoing mental health crisis in the UK, and focus specifically on Muslims, as we are aware of the topic, but we seem to take a lot of time to address our response with mental health.
Yeah, I want to address especially what you were saying, obviously, about it's not just talking about mental health, it's actually finding solutions, obviously, how we can overcome it. This year's theme in particular in the summit is turning conversation into action. So what does that mean in practical terms?
Yeah, in practical terms, it means we're doing a great start. We're having conversations, but practically speaking, we need action. And action cannot happen individually. What we've seen with a lot of Muslim organisations across Britain is that a lot of us are working in silos, we're working individually, and we don't seem to collaborate. So the more of us who can work together, we can achieve better outcomes for Muslims and mental health of the general population across the UK. So we've got 4 different priorities, which is policy, collaboration, funding and technology. So looking at sustaining and creating policies that can impact mental health, looking at what technology we can use, how can AI help us, what funding can we give Muslim organizations who are focusing on mental health to do the work that they need, because often they're relying on small loans and grants and they can't do the work that we need. And just, again, collaboration, making sure that we are aware of what our neighbours are doing, what our communities are doing, and working together so we can help each other as an ummah.
I mean, it's alhamdulillah, it's a very much needed cause, and it's something that, you know, we often, well, we're starting to the conversations about it, but what are we doing about it, as you said. So it's great that we are still, you know, having these conversations and trying to find solutions, because usually people do put that on, you know, the mental health on the back burner, because unless you can see a physical problem, people just kind of ignore the mental side. But anyhow, okay, so what's the attitude been like when you've been going around and talking to people about this? You know, and obviously with generations as well.
Yeah.
Different.
I think, so we've done a lot of research recently about numbers and looking at the current population of Muslims in the UK. And we're looking at around 2/3 of the Muslim population are under 25. And there's a growing mental health problem amongst young people. You know, we've got the cost of living crisis, we've got Gaza, Islamophobia, we've got rising unemployment, you know, all of these things affecting young people, and we're the future generation. And a recent study showed that only 2.6% of Muslims had actually completed NHS referrals to talking therapies between 2021 and 22. That's a really alarming number. So we're seeing that Muslims are struggling with their mental health, but they haven't got the resources or the continuation of their treatment that they need to get the support to improve their mental health. So we've seen the need. We've seen that Muslims are addressing it through, you know, the masajids, talking about them in khutbahs,
I was just going to say that. Do you think that they may be the reason why they're not coming forward, because they're thinking more like in terms of connect to your spirituality? Yeah. Maybe that would, you know, would resolve their, you know, mental health problems, and you know, maybe that's why they're not coming forward for talking therapies or going to NHS. Also, some people just don't want it on their record, do they?
Yeah.
You know.
So ECWI released a launch event at Parliament a month ago about Muslim mental health, and they basically found that the NHS and the current treatments aren't in favour of faith communities. And a lot of Muslims, yes, they do use spirituality and their faith as a support to get through their mental health. But the NHS and current services don't recognise that as well, and they're not catered towards faith sensitivity. So what we need is tailored solutions for our faith communities. Of course, we've got things that exist like stigmas and cultural barriers around mental health that have existed in the past and will continue. But I think what it is giving people the opportunity to invest in organisations locally and come together and, you know, just make a network that is sustaining and not just ends after a trial period or after 6 sessions, etc. Do you get what I mean? There's a lot of things.
Yeah. You know, when you mentioned about obviously the stigma, and like we were addressing that obviously because some people just don't want to go forward, you know. Are attitudes actually changing? And, you know, like what conversations do we still need to have so it can actually you know, be okay to discuss, you know, that.
I'm feeling a little mental today.
Yeah, I do think mental health conversations are changing, especially with young people. As a Gen Z myself, I talk about, you know, mental health and lived experience and bereavement online. And I don't think we're ones to shy away from it, you know. And we are having these difficult conversations at home. We are advocating for ourselves, whether it's at home or in the workplace or with our friends. But there still is a long way to go. I think also, you know, just having discussions about what's available. I think Muslims, alhamdulillah, we have developed amazing resources across the UK. We've excelled in so many things. But I think now it's time to invest in knowing what services we have around us, you know, whether it's the Muslim Youth Helpline, whether it's something like that. Currently, there is no 24/7 helpline for Muslims in the UK. So if we discuss about, you know, there's Islamic counselling available, there are these support available for other people, then we will start to see people acting upon that. And for me, I'm a big advocate for counselling and Islamic therapy as well. I've done it and it's helped me massively, alhamdulillah, compared to when I had therapy that wasn't faith sensitive. So I think just talking about it with with your kids, with your friends, generationally, just breaking that taboo, it can go a long way. But again, turning it into action as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm like you, similarly, an advocate for mental health. I've been in it it's helped me a lot. I've been in that kind of work environment in Korea for a long time, and I'm still part of it. I actually was part of the helping in the COVID times, having the lines open for, well, it was for women, Muslim women, but it was still a line that we'd opened. But you're right, we don't have something like that. But since this is being live streamed on YouTube, and I'd like everyone to be a witness to this, and since you are from MCB, I'm going to make a suggestion. So this is a time for pen and paper moment, right? So MCB actually could have facilitate something like that with the masjids. They could do some collaboration works, because if we look at the time of the peak time of the Islamic history, and at the time of our prophets or Sahabas, the masjid was usually the hub. It was places where not you just go to pray. It's a place where you would hang, you would have conversations, you would have debates, education. Yeah. It would be where laws, jurisprudence are being passed, and so a lot of that would happen, and we've lost that obviously for many reasons, wars and colonizations and all sorts of things, and lack of resources, etc. And we've kind of lost that. So perhaps if we go a little bit back to our Islamic history and the peak of our golden time era, and we could start implementing that back in the masjids where we can go, women can go, children can go and say, we have a problem, we need to, this. I mean, I know there are some masjids that do it, so I'm not totally, saying that, it's not happening. There are some masjids that are providing this service, but I think, wouldn't that be the better way for MCB to think about the future?
Definitely. It is one way, and we have seen that, of course, imams and masajid are doing khutbahs and they are doing trainings on mental health. But if we think about the current responsibilities that imams and masajid hold, dealing with so many complex issues regarding the Sharia, regarding, marriage, divorce, mental health, family issues. There's so many complex needs now for the children of this generation, whether that's drugs, social media use, etc. Is it really fair for us to put all of that onto our imams and our masajid and our communities? And alhamdulillah, they are doing amazing work. Even in my local community, there's a group of sisters who are now encouraging, talking about mental health and the things we don't talk about through sisters' coffee morning chats. And that's an incredible initiative that we are doing in the masajids. But I think what we're talking about is we need that funding invested in organizations. Yeah. We need action. We need to work together. We need to know how we can uplift each other. Of course, the grassroots is always important, and we should always be advocates for this. But what the Muslim Council of Britain is trying to say is that it's time that we look forward ahead into the future, rather than just now or in 6 months' time. We'll have a coffee morning, maybe it will go on for a couple of months and it will stop. But how do we invest in creating resource guides, therapies, etc., resource guidelines for NHS, for CAMS, for mental health practitioners, etc. And one of the ways the Muslim Council of Britain has actually done this is that we have launched a Muslim mental health directory on our website, and you will find resources related to bereavement, counselling, abuse, all of these places, like a one-stop shop for everything. So you can have a look and go on their website and access everything in one place.
Yeah, no, that's great. Alhamdulillah, I'm really happy to hear that. But and I'm not suggesting at all that the imam should be wearing several hats. One minute he's leading the salah, next minute he's counselling at the back. I'm not saying he should be doing that. I'm saying open it up. Of course, open it up. Like when you look at the Muslim,
and it doesn't just have to be the imam. Obviously, there's so many different community members.
Could let them in.
In the masjid. Masjids have communities now, and so many different people have different hats within the like.
You could have a CAMS workshop taking place in a masjid. Now, one might be like, what is CAMS? It's a counselling service, and so you could open it up to who first and foremost, who are the governors, or what you call them, the committee members of the masjids? Let some of the ladies in, let some of the local teachers in, let some of the counsellors in. That they are fully able, educated, and we've come so forward in some sense, but sometimes we're still a little bit held back by some of some members. And if they let them in, we can have our masjids provide all of these services.
Of course.
You know, so
I think there's a little bit of fear sometimes within our own Muslim communities. And
fear of the women or fear of change?
Not fear of the women. What I meant by that is fear of letting outsiders, or what they say, outsiders into our communities. Do they really understand? But if you open the door, you see that there are allies. For example, the Charity Mind and the CEO will be speaking on Saturday at the conference, but they host a yearly iftar, and they're not a Muslim charity. They're a non-Muslim organisation. Mind, we're doing incredible work. You know, reaching out to the partner organisations who exist within your community, whether that is a CAM service, whether that's Cruise, bereavement care, whether that's martlets that we have down in Sussex, coming together and facilitating that safe space for conversation, and understand that we have actually come quite a long way in terms of decolonising the lens of mental health applied to Muslims. We've come quite a long way, and it's not as bad as it was before, but there's acknowledging that there's still a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, and I think the reason why we've come to even accept that we might be a little bit crack, a little bit mental because of COVID and things like that, right? But just otherwise, it'd still be like, it doesn't really exist, or it's not really happening, or it's okay, or you just do this and you're going to be fine. So I get that, but I still think that the masjids have a huge role and are able to facilitate so much more for the community. Every masjid has a basement or a separate room where they do the food.
Okay, I don't know about your masjid, but my masjid does not have a basement.
Well, they have something separate where it doesn't have to be in the main hall of where they're praying in case they're worried about the mess, or I don't know what, but whatever reason. But they can facilitate these gatherings, and there is organisations like Mind. Even if you contact them and say, could we get someone to come and do a workshop, they'll come and do it for free. So there are so many things we can tap into. But the masjids, the committee members have to be open to this and let us in.
Yeah.
So we can start then being able to, when there was a time where we were running a lot of mental health groups for women, and they had a lot of questions around Islamic women's rights and stuff. And I found that really strange. That why don't you just go to your masjid and ask? And the reason they can't do that is because they weren't able to have that kind of access or knowledge, and people kind of shun off. And so then why don't we have an email or something where we can email those questions in? Why is these things not easily accessible? It's not just a place for prayer.
Yeah.
We have to go back to our own our roots, and we kind of have to understand that if we want Islam to be as glorious as it was, and it's got all reasons for it to be, we've got to go back to those ways of being opening to everyone, and let the masjids be more than a masjid.
100%. I think we need it to be a gateway to a wider range of services, not just the salah. It should be more than that. And I think as communities and masjids and as members who attend the masjid, we need to advocate for the support. We need to what helplines exist, what organisations can give me the support that I need, whether it's searching up on the MCB website about where can I access therapy, where can I access this. You can find it. There are so many organisations, alhamdulillah, who are doing incredible work, whether that's the Ibn Sina Sanctuary, Inspirited Minds, Muslim Youth Helpline. There is help available. I think we've gone from a stage of not knowing what exists to knowing there are things, but where are they? Where can we find them? So just doing a little bit of research, reaching out to your local MCB partner, your masajid, and just doing a little bit of research and finding out, where can I facilitate a session? Where can I find out information? How can I broadcast this into the community, on the WhatsApp group chat, on the pages? How can we facilitate this discussion and support people to get help?
Yeah, I mean, if MCB holds a meeting with some of the masjid members or committee members and stuff, please do invite me. I'd love to come.
Of course.
I'd love to come along as well.
I just wanted to go back to your point. Obviously, you mentioned quite a lot of different organisations, obviously, that are available. Now, the purpose of this summit, this coming Saturday, obviously, is a lot about, you were talking about collaboration, because there are health professionals, there are different community organisations, experts. Why is it so important that we actually need to be working together on this rather than separately?
Well, we look at how many divisions exist in society. Everyone is trying to make us keep away from each other rather than united. But as Muslims and as practitioners and different organizations, to get an overall better outcome for all of us, for our children, next generation, for our elders, for those who are struggling, we're ultimately going to get the best result if we work together. And if we keep working in the same ways that we have, we can't expect any different results. So something has to change. We have to work in a different way. We have to work in collaboration. You know, unfortunately, in our communities, there's some masajid and organizations that refuse to work with each other for X, Y, and that reason. But we need to come aside of that, take away all the politics and look at the greater good. You know, the government is also going to be releasing a strategy about mental health in the upcoming few months, etc. And we need to be aligned, and we need to be asking not just the government and not just the masajid for faith-based support for all communities, or faith communities as well, for Christians as well, for Jewish people as well, because we all need faith cultural support, and we can only do that if we work together.
And obviously the event on Saturday, there are a lot of keynote speakers at the event. Is there anything particular excited that you think the attendees will be really, thrilled to learn about on Saturday?
Yeah, I think talking about how we can use technology for the sake of mental health. So again, this new platform, the Muslim Mental Health Directory, you can talk to this, website about how you're feeling, and you can say, help me find this service, whether it's related to bereavement, whether it's related to trauma therapy, etc. And it will find you all the organizations exactly to how you need it. So it's tailor-made for each person. So there'll be many conversations about how can we carry these into our workspaces, into our families, into our masajid and community centers. So that's one to look out for as well.
Brilliant. It's fantastic. Thank you so much, Iman, for being here today. And it's not an easy task. And working for Muslim Council of Britain, there is a huge weight for all of you guys that work for the organisation, because I suppose that it is easy to expect so much, and obviously there's funding that needs to go behind that as well to back you guys as well, and it's a huge role that for you guys as well. But really appreciate that you're here today and talking about the mental health summit, and that there is a chance for people that are watching today to attend and be part of that, learn more about that, be involved in that, and just generally just us talking again about mental health. Yeah. It's good to talk about, because it is it's something that everybody struggles with at some point in their life, and you have to manage it. Yeah, and that's just one of the things of life that we have to do, you don't want to do, but you kind of have to.
Yeah, and I think just understanding that our faith is supportive of mental health, and it's not something that's far or distant. It's within our faith, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us this way, and our prophets and everyone, had these struggles, and that's completely okay, and it's not farther away from us. Absolutely. It's a part of who we are, and there's support available, and that's completely okay.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Iman, for sharing that with us, and hopefully, and all the best with the summit event. And inshallah, we'll hopefully catch up with you again in the future. But we're going to go off to some lovely recitation. Just what we needed, actually. Just perfectly
for our mental health.
Ties in with the whole mental health. So take a moment to reflect and soothe our soul. See you very soon.
أستغفر الله 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 العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت اللهم أنت ربي لا إله إلا أنت خلقتني وأنا عبدك وأنا على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعت أعوذ بك من شر ما صنعت أبوء لك بنعمتك علي وأبوء بذنبي فاغفر لي فإنه لا يغفر
Assalamu alaikum. We are here today to celebrate the launch of the Amir Abdul Qadir Al Jazairi programme.
The military hero, the statesman, an architect of a polity, the consummate diplomat and scholar educator, the Sufi, whose life was rooted in the knowledge of God and the embodiment of the noblest human values.
He's everything that could embody today's Algeria, and he's still and always will remain a great example for future generations of Algerians and of Muslims and non-Muslims across the world.
A figure who has been inspirational, not just to Algerian nationalism, and has had that role for a good century and more, but also to French imperialism.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
We came to win.
50
points. Give that to me. Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's a one.
And we hope that you're having a great time watching as well. But it is time to have a little taster of what is cooking around the world and just see other cuisines and other cultures. So let's take a quick look at that.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome here on Islam Channel with me, Chef Hamza. Today, harira soup, that classic Moroccan soup. Everybody asks me, what is harira soup? It's a little bit difficult to explain, but I'm going to do it for you. So simple and so quick and very delicious. Now I'm going to start by adding a touch of olive oil. The reason why we've got olive oil and the smin, or the ghee, that's to stop the ghee burning. If you put just ghee, you'll end up burning it. It doesn't quite have a high temperature or high kind of boiling temperature as the regular olive oil. So that's in there. Just melt that down. Get a bit of temperature on there. Now the smell of ghee is very strong. Don't worry about that. That kind of mellow out as we're cooking it through. And once that starts to heat up, get the bubbles in there, you add in the onions. Now that smell of ghee and onion takes me right back to Morocco, when my nan used to be cooking for us. This soup is eaten throughout Ramadan on almost a daily basis. Now for me, I don't have harira any other time of the year, purely because by the end of Ramadan, I'm sick of it. Now once they've started going, you're gonna add in your celery. I'm not a fan of celery, although in certain dishes, it's fantastic. Now we can start building up the flavors. We're gonna add a bit of parsley in here, like so. Good bunch of coriander in there. Now the smells are starting to come, building. Now, chickpeas. 1 tin should be more than enough. Now, once you've kind of cooked this down, fry them off for a minute or two. You can add your tomatoes. Now be careful when you're adding these because I always seem to get tomatoes all over me. At this point, a little bit of seasoning, salt and pepper. Now, what you're going to do at this point, you're going to leave it. That's as simple as that. You turn it down just a touch, and you put it on a low simmer. Cover it. And go and relax. So that's been stewing for around 7, maybe 10 minutes. That's all you need on there. So all the flavors now inside, already that smell is already reminding me of harira. So I'm going to set this lid to one side for now. I'm going to start adding a little bit of water. Now again, we're going back to harira, infamous for Ramadan, but it's pretty much eaten all year round in Morocco. And the origins of the word is from the Arabic silk, actually, believe it or not. Al-hir, which is silk. And we're going to stew this down, again, 10, 12 minutes maximum. So it's been around about 12 minutes, 15 minutes. You can leave it longer. That's in here, as you can see. You want to really kind of reduce it down a little bit. Now the flavor is there, it's getting there, but you've got to take time, okay? Take time, let it kind of infuse with everything. But we're going to crack on once you get to that point. We have to have the thickener. This is what makes it that silky kind of texture. There are several options that you can do. I like it a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go with the corn flour and vermicelli. It's very important for me. And I'm going to add some water to some corn flour here. It's always important to add the liquid or a liquid to corn flour first before you put it inside your soup or stock. Otherwise you're going to get lumps. And you just kind of work it through like a single cream, maybe less than a single cream kind of consistency. That's in there. And pour it in there like so. And you add your vermicelli. Now, if you don't have vermicelli, you can have maybe some broken rice is quite good as well, just to thicken it up. You can add lentils to this as well. People like to have it with lentils. You can chuck in an egg or two, kind of mix that through. Then leave this just to kind of boil down a bit. A few minutes more. So now we've been cooking for around about 20 minutes or so, maybe a bit less than that, about 15 minutes. The vermicelli is in there, okay? You've got the corn flour, which has thickened it up. You can have it as thick as you like, well, within reason. You just wanted that kind of velvety, silky kind of texture though. You don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick either. It's not like a cream of mushroom soup or something like that. So, that's there. That's pretty much done. I'm gonna turn that down, just leave it to a simmer. The great thing about this soup, then get it done in advance, turn it off, leave it, and just heat it up when you're ready to go. This is my traditional Moroccan soup, harira. Perfect for every day.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Chef Shazia, and today we are cooking Malai chicken. Malai chicken is a lovely, popular Indian curry dish. It is succulent pieces of chicken that are spiced and then are poached in a creamy yogurt and fresh cream sauce. So I've got a pan here that's on a fairly high heat. I'm going to put in a knob of butter into the pan and just melt it down. Once the butter melts down, you add in your onion, and you just want to cook the onion until they're translucent and soft. The onions have now changed color. I'm going to add in some ginger and some garlic paste into the onions and just stir it in so that the aromas release from the ginger and the garlic. Once you can smell the ginger and the garlic, you're going to add in your diced chicken. Mix it in with the onion and the ginger and the garlic and add in all your spices. So I've got some ground cumin and coriander, garam masala powder, I've got some diced green chilies, or you could put a green chili paste. And for seasoning, I've got some white pepper and some salt. So you want to coat the chicken in all these spices. And as the spices heat up, they start to cook and blend down, and the aromas release. Once the chicken starts to change color, at this stage, you want to add in the yogurt into the chicken and the spices. Stir that through. You want to let this cook on a medium heat until All the water is almost dried up, so it's semi-cooked. I'm going to put the lid on and reduce the heat to a medium. So the chicken has been simmering away for around 10 minutes on a medium heat. It is semi-cooked, and you can see that the oil or the butter has started to split from the yogurt. At this stage, you want to add in your fresh cream, and you are going to sprinkle in some kasuri methi, which gives it that added in flavor. Stir it up all together, and you just want to cook it until the sauce begins to thicken up. The Malai chicken has been simmering away. There's still a bit of gravy in here, but I always like to keep a little bit of extra because it's lovely to mop up with some naan bread or just to pour it over some rice. Garnish with lots of freshly chopped coriander. This Malai boti chicken gets ready ever so easily. It is wonderfully served with a squeeze of lemon on the top, some sliced cucumbers, some sliced onions. Serve it up with some naan bread or some freshly cooked rice. It is an amazing dish that your children and you would also enjoy.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zarka, and I'm going to be showing you how to make Pakistan's most popular dish, everyday dish, that is chicken karahi, that can be cooked within 45 minutes to an hour. First thing first, we need some vegetable oil. I'm just using, say, about half a cup of vegetable oil. We're gonna heat this up. It's on high temperature. Once it's all heated, we will be adding a chicken. So the chicken I'm using today is medium-sized chicken, cut into pieces, curry pieces. So once the oil is fairly heated, you're going to add the chicken. So you just give it a stir. It's still on very high heat. And we just want to change the color of the chicken. At the moment it's pink. In about 5 to 6 minutes time, it will turn to slightly brown. So now we're going to check. Yes, the chicken has changed the color. And now at this stage, I'm just going to remove the chicken into a plate, and then I'll show you what to do next. Now that all the chicken is out in the bowl, I'm going to be adding 1.5 onion. I've sliced it, so I've added it to the same oil. We're going to be cooking this on a high heat. Once it changes color, it's translucent, we will be adding some garlic and ginger, freshly grinded or grated. Now that you can see the onions are translucent and also slightly brownish. Now I'm going to add some garam masala to it. And garam masala is basically a little bit of cloves, which they look like this, those of you not familiar, a piece of cinnamon stick, and 1 or 2 the black cardamoms, and some peppercorns. So there's not strict count to these things. You just add a little bit of it. And the whole idea of the garam masala is to give flavoring. And towards the end of the dish, we will add the blend of these spices as well, right on top, to give that extra flavors to the dish. So we'll fry this now for about a minute or so. So now that the spices have fried for about 50 seconds to a minute, time to add the freshly grated ginger and garlic. This is about 5 cloves of garlic and I don't know, 1.5 inch of ginger, all grated. I'm just going to fry that, and as soon as you get those smells of the garlic going, that's when you know you're about to make a superb chicken kadahi. Now that the garlic and ginger have been frying in there for about 1.5 minutes, time to add the rest of the spices. I'll add salt. Salt is, I always say, to your taste. Turmeric, cumin powder, coriander powder, and red chili powder. And then we stir. We will fry it with the spices for a couple of minutes. Now at this stage, the spices are infused with the onion, garlic, and the onion that has been frying in oil. Now time to add the chicken, which we fried earlier for about 5 minutes or so. Give it a good stir. At this stage, we will stir it for another 2 minutes, and then I'll show you what to add, the next ingredients. Now you can see chicken almost looks cooked, but it's not cooked. So it needs the next ingredient, and that is the lovely tomatoes here. So we will be adding, say, I'm just adding whole tomatoes here, 4, perhaps 5. I do like my sauce quite thick and tomatoey, and that's it. We will leave that in there for the tomatoes to rest, and I'm going to add a little bit of water and make sure you seal that lid onto the karahi and let it do its magic for about a good 10 minutes on a medium to low heat. So the chicken has been cooking for about 25 minutes. Time to see what's going on in there. So this looks like it's nearly cooked. The heat is now going to be high on this, and we just simply now need to add a few more ingredients to it. So now I'm just going to add a few green chilies. It's whole green chilies in there. Also some fenugreek leaves. Just do like this in your hand and sprinkle on top. Give it a good stir. And it's almost time to serve this. This is the final dish of chicken karahi. Enjoy it with either naan bread, a chapati, or your rice.
Hello, my name is Halima Ferreira, and I'd like to show you how to make a very easy milk cake / tres leche, because it does have 3 milks in it. I start off with a basic sponge, which is something you can make in advance, and then I infuse 3 different milks, which I'll show you in a second, with saffron and cardamom. Those are the flavors I've decided to go with today. And then I garnish them with cardamom pistachio, slithered pistachio, rose petals, a splash of cream, and the infused milk. I pre-made a sponge mix earlier. Generally, you would make the sponge, poke holes into it, and then soak the syrup in, and that's if you'd like to eat it straight away. If you would like to make this dessert a day after, it's best to keep the sponge without the syrup, keep it wrapped up quite tightly, and then I will show you how to make this. I'm going to trim the edges of the sponge. Turn my board around. I like to square it off. I'm then going to poke holes into it because we need to soak the syrup in. And now I'm going to pour in the syrup. So the syrup composes of condensed milk, evaporated milk, and just normal milk, and I've infused it with saffron and cardamom. So that's going to soak in a little bit. Drizzle. After pouring the syrup on, you need to leave it for a couple of minutes so that the sponge gets nice and moist, and then we're going to cut it. You can cut it into squares. I like to make it look pretty, so I'm using a cutter. Get right down to it. And now we're going to plate this up. 1, 2. I'm going to pour some more of the syrup around it and over it. We want to make sure that's nicely covered in syrup. It is a very moist cake. And now, to finish our dessert, we're going to garnish it. I'm going to warm up my spoon in a little bit of warm water. Going to get the whipped cream. Put that on each of them. Next, I'm going to get some pistachio, the ground pistachio. And lightly sprinkle that. Slithered pistachio. Rose petals. And lastly, I'm going to put a little pipette in. It's got milk in it, just for decor. And here you go, tres leche milk cake. You're more than welcome to try any flavors with this. It's a very versatile recipe. I hope you enjoy it. Well, that was very interesting and some lovely, delicious recipes there for one to try.
And making me very hungry as well, actually, yes.
Yeah, so we had some lovely dessert there, and there's some quick rusting up a lovely grub there as well. So yeah, it's different cuisines, different cultures. It's always good to try something new. It is summertime, and what else are you going to do in the summer holidays but try new recipes with the children?
Yes, that's true.
You could do something like that. Would you do something like that with your son?
No, the thing is, I feel like in summer as well, you eat different foods to winter. Do you not eat different foods?
Definitely.
Like, I would tend to go for a lot lighter options. I feel like in winter you want something more warm. You like have
you
more
want something warm and
soups
hearty.
yeah.
But you know, I don't know about eating less. I just think it's just just different. But yeah,
I think eat less because you drink more. That's what it is. So yeah,
we must
especially in this heat.
Remember to drink more. Thank God the heat is going down. Thank God. I can't thank God enough. It's been tough. It's been very tough for me. But anyhow, it is going to be tonight. Is a big match.
Yes.
Big deal tonight for the football lovers. Not me then, but yeah, it is a big night for football. So yeah, have fun tonight, whoever's watching. And then yeah, we got some holidays coming, breaking up this week.
Yes. I'm so looking forward to it because I'll be off next week from the show, and I'll be back with you guys in August.
Well, that's very nice. Well, you're going to be sharing where you're going. We're having some. Yeah, well, you're going to be having a nice time wherever you're going, I'm sure, inshallah. And it is that time. A lot of people will be going and travelling to different places because it's summer holidays. And if you're not travelling, that's okay, because not all of us are wanting to be part of the rush of the airport madness and all that expensive flights, full flights. You know,
we'll still be here.
I for one will not be
here.
part of that. I will make sure I will make use of the summer that we have here. Already it's too hot for me, so I'll make use of what we have here, and we'll utilise a lot of the empty spaces where everyone has left it to go abroad. I will
staycation.
I was here having a staycation, and so yeah, we've got the summer holidays now coming up, and obviously all the kids will be off, and there's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to prepare and organise, and just make the most of it, really, because this is 7 months. You know, this is summer 2026, and then in 7 months we have Ramadan.
Yeah, mashallah. It's going to come back again so quickly.
This year has just zoomed, isn't it?
Yeah.
2026.
Yeah.
It has just zoomed. I don't know what's happening. Is this just a London thing, do you think? Is this a personal thing, or is this just a global thing that everyone's experiencing? I'm not sure, you know.
Well, we're both experiencing it anyway. I don't know about you viewers at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, yeah, we'll see what's going to happen this summer. We've got the other presenters on in the week, and then we've got the weekend. We have the weekend Salaam Britain morning show as well, where we have great guests coming in. And obviously, we are streaming live, and you can connect with us. We have an email, which is sb@islamchannel.tv. You can send in your emails. Somebody does read them, and somebody will get back to you eventually once we go through them all. And you can comment on the YouTube channel as well, and you can, if you missed anything, you can catch up on YouTube or on the Islam channel website and the app. And well, that kind of brings us to the end of today's show, and it's been great, hasn't it?
It has been absolutely amazing. Yes, thank you to all our guests who joined us today. John earlier with the news, and Iman from Muslim Council of Britain, which they have an event this Saturday. So if you're free, go and check it out.
Absolutely. And do take care of yourself. Do check in with yourself, your mental health, and the people that are near and dear to you. And not just them, actually. You're close to you in the sense that your neighbours and people around, and just keep an eye on things as we should as good Muslims. But from myself, Shaz and Taslima, take care, stay safe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.